Howdy, y'all. Welcome back today. Today we'll be playing a new game today to replace Machina. It's called Will a Wonderful World. And as I always do, I will begin by reading a brief summary of the game that's on the website, so y'all will get a feel for how this game will be like, as much as I know, since I don't know anything about this game. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's called, I said what it's called, but Will of a Wonderful World. So it says that a story about altering human destiny has arrived. Through the letters, learn about the troubles people face. Rearrange the order of their words and unlock the new destiny. Have you ever asked God for help? Do you believe in God's existence? If one day your fate had changed, do you wonder if God heard your call for help? Use your heart and wisdom to help those in need. There was an urban legend. Write your troubles down on a note. Hold it in your hand at midnight and pray, God, please help me. Then God will hear your plea and change your fate. It was only a legend though. It wasn't even popular for very long. A young girl wakes up, groggy in an unknown room. A talking dog appears before her, and she becomes startled by the revelation he tells her. They are gods, and it's their duty to change the fate of any humans that ask for their help. Letters appear in the mail with a pen in hand. Letters appear in the mail, and with a pen in hand, she begins the job. People who believe in this legend live all over the world, in every shape and form, and they write and pray to the gods, seeking help for their troubles. A quiet nerd stuck in a hopeless, one-sided crush, an impoverished artist who's lost all hope and contemplates suicide, a rookie police officer who burns with justice and hopes for his first big case, a young woman desperately chasing her dreams against all odds, Evan, a stray cat who would simply be satisfied with some dried fish to eat. They say that a God is good and makes choices for the greater good. However, are these really the best choices for mortals? With the power to change the fate of humankind, dive deep into the story and learn about those who seek out your help. But remember, changing someone's fate will have an effect on others, whether they are interconnected or not. As you read through each story, perhaps the young girl's memory will also return. But what will she learn about herself and her mission? It says receive letters from people seeking help, investigate the situations and alter their fate. The stories of the characters are gradually revealed to you in the letters they wrote. From these letters, you will learn about their lives and help solve their problems. You might not become friends, but they will be forever grateful for all you've done. Use your powers to change the events that happen and watch this as the story takes a new course. But exercise caution, as altering the fate of one person can change the fate of another. Everything happens for a reason. Be sure to put on your detective hat before making choices. The fates of the characters can be completely changed with your acute observation and wise deduction. Life is full of surprises. Also, okay, I just want to make sure that my mic is on. I just had a sneaking suspicion that I was off. Life is full of surprises. Sometimes thinking outside the box can uncover beautiful hidden gems. Be bold, brave, and create the best memories together with our heroes. Features. Read stories and use deduction to determine how to alter the fate of the people in the stories. Each decision opens up the story and may impact the stories of others. Progress through the game and learn more about the two gods, the mysterious gal and a companion. Now, mature content description. So it says the game contains content that may not be appropriate for all audiences. Please do not play this game if you are sensitive to the description of abusement, blood, death, suicide, or drugs. So there we go. That's the summary. A lot of repetition there, but it gets the point across. and also a content warning as well. Let me look at the chat. Hello, Okapi Flower, and howdy Gabriella. Welcome you too. I'm so glad to have y'all. And what is my favorite food? My favorite food is... It's a hard question. It's a hard question. I really like peas and rice. I like rice in general, like rice, peas and rice, or black-eyed peas. A red rice, which is tomato stewed rice. I like check rice, which is rice mixed with greens in it. Like, I usually make it with collard greens. I like cornbread. I like stews too, so all kinds of stews like smothered oxtail and okra soup and things like that. I also like chicken pot pies. Chicken pot pies are really good too. I don't know, it's hard to pick my favorite food, but yeah, those are some of my favorite foods. Okay. Also, oops. There we go. Here we go. Here's the game. And also the game is in full screen, so I need to open up the chat on my phone so I can still see the chat. Since... Oh, I should also turn on the desktop audio. I don't know if that's on, but the music is real cute. Okay. New game. Normal. Lunatic. Suitable for players who are not familiar with this type of game. There will be hints given in red text to help you navigate through the levels. You may change the difficulty level at any time to challenge yourself. The door to a wonderful world is now open in front of you. We hope you enjoy your adventure. Can I see what this is about? Okay. Suitable for players who have natural gifts in logic and deduction. There will no longer be hints given in red text. As an advanced player, you may change the difficulty level at any time if you encounter an obstacle during the game. You may also turn on hints for certain levels. Nevertheless, we have complete faith in you. Good luck. Oh well. Oh, the audio's missing? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, 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 hello? I think my microphone cord was not plugged in all the way. Is it better now? Oh, okay. It's okay. I do think that my cord wasn't securely plugged into my microphone, so it's still good that I just pushed it in so it don't come out. But normal lunatic. Should I start on normal and then switch to lunatic when I feel like I got a good grasp? Or should I start on lunatic to give me a challenge and then see how I do? And then if I just need help, I can change back to normal to get some hints. I don't know. I'm kind of intimidated to go on lunatic. I don't want to go crazy. But I also feel like I want a challenge. So let's do lunatic and let's just see how it is. Let's just see. Write your troubles down on a note. Hold it in your hand at midnight and pray. God, please help me. Then God will heal your plea. Goodness. I can't read. Heal your plea. And I can't stop the text. That's gone viral for a brief period of time. Exit from Modern Urban Legends. Okay. I read that in the summary, so I didn't have to reread it. But my head hurts. Where am I? What happened? You finally woke up. I've been waiting for so long. I was beginning to worry that you might never wake up. It's a talking dog. And are you my pet? My neighbor's dog Fluffy. How about my pet? My pet must stay calm. Was that an insult? How dare you call me a pet? Do I look like a pet? Well, yes. I'm your servant. Don't you remember? Servant? Servant? What is this talking dog going on about? Am I having a dream? A servant? As in, you could help me fetch the newspaper? Have you lost your memories? Lost? My memories? Yeah, you fell down the stairs yesterday. And you passed out. I thought you might have hit your head. I fell? But my head doesn't hurt anywhere and there's no bruising. Anyway, let's both settle down a little. How about a quick test? Now, look into my big, beautiful eyes and tell me, what is my name? Fluffy? Fluffy my ass? Well, I guess you really did lose your memories. My name is Will. Sometimes I go by Willie. Okay, Will is the name of the dog. I thought Will was just a reference to like the will of God, basically. Well, his name was Will. Willie? Yes, Willie. Willie Wonka? No, it's just Willie. I don't own a chocolate factory. Also, don't you know that a chocolate is dangerous for a dog? Oh wait, I'm not a dog. Oh boy, seems worse than I thought. What are you then? You look like a dog, but you got horns on your you got horns on your forehead. Listen to me carefully. I'm not a dog, and you're not a human. That doesn't sound right. We are gods. What? Yes, that's right. We are gods. How did you know what I was thinking just now? I'm a god, of course I know. As gods, it's our job to change the fate of the humans who ask us for help. Humans encounter all kinds of trouble in their lives, and sometimes they pray for us, hoping for miracles, as they call them. We can help them and grant their wishes. Or not. It's all up to you, of course. Wait. Stop babbling so fast. I don't understand what you're saying at all. I'm not babbling. You're just too slow. You know what? Let's start with a job orientation, shall we? Come over here. It's time to do some work. Hold on. Are we starting already? I still don't have a clue on what's going on. Besides, didn't you just tell me that we're gods? Why do gods have to work? Don't lie to me just because I lost my memories. I was not lying. In any case, if you don't finish today's work, we won't have any dinner tonight. Fine. How come they won't have dinner? See that small red box? That is a message from the human today. Alright, let's see what she has gotten herself into this time. I want to go home. My name is Li Wen. I'm a senior at Yingnan High School. Today, I went to a nearby court to play tennis for the first time since I moved to my new place. It was a very poorly maintained court, so I guess hardly anyone ever uses it. The light over the tennis court is maintained by some of the residents themselves. The dim light bulb kept making a buzzing noise. 1, 2, 3. I just hit all 30 of the balls I had, so I picked up the now empty basket. I walked to the other side of the court and collected the balls before hitting them all again. No one else was on the tennis court. All I could hear was the sound of balls hitting my racket, then bouncing off the ground. The light bulb flickered twice, then went out. I picked up most of the balls and left the court, walking towards the small alley. I had walked through it earlier on my way to the court. The alley was always dark no matter what time of day it was. I kept humming to myself quietly in my head just to be less scared. I arrived at my apartment and suddenly realized that my keys were not in my pocket. I tried to think back. I must have left them at the tennis court. If the light hadn't suddenly gone out, I would have noticed that they were not on me. Well, this sucked. It was too late to go back to the court, not to mention that I might not even be able to find the keys without any light. A desk lamp was on the manager's office, as was the radio, but no one was in there. I stood out of the window and waited for a long time, but Uncle Son, who was supposed to be on duty tonight, never showed up. The motion sensor lights in the hallway kept turning on and off every few minutes. I was beginning to feel a little scared. A late night talk show was on. The hosts were talking about a popular urban legend that had also been making the rounds at school. It said that if you wrote a note to God in the middle of the night, then God will solve all your problems for you. Jing was really into this stuff. Well, if such a God really exists, maybe he or she could help unlock the door for me? Or make Uncle Son coming back to his office soon. Please? Please? Li Wen. Okay, so this is the whole thing, right? Let's start. Well, do people always write to God just because they forgot their keys? Not always, no. But humans are exceptionally annoying. You'll see a lot more random nonsense of all kinds in the future. Forget about why she asked for help for now. Let's take a look at how we may help her. Now, use this pen I just gave you. We can slice this letter into several pieces. Now see, some of the pieces are black and some of them are white. To prevent logical chaos, some of the pieces cannot be moved. These pieces are designated in black. Meanwhile, the white pieces can be moved anywhere with one exception. No white pieces can go past the first or the last piece. Now that you understand the limitations of moving these pieces, you may feel free to move the white pieces around. After you rearrange the white pieces, the events will happen exactly as you want them in the human world. If your rearrangement has altered the previous casual links within the events, naturally the ending of the letter will be changed. Well, that's about it. What? Are you telling me that I can change what's happening to the human by moving these sentences around? Exactly. Isn't it straightforward? Oh gosh, that's awesome. Can you do it too? Only the person who's holding the pen is capable of doing this. Go ahead, give it a try. Once you make your decision, just select OK. Okay, so we can't change the fact that she hit all the balls, she walked to the court, and that she was all by herself. Okay, so the light bulb flickered twice and went out. And then she picked up the balls, walking towards the alleyway. And then the ending that we can't change is that she lost the keys, and she probably wouldn't have lost them if the light hadn't gone out. So I'm pretty sure that the only thing to do is that the light bulb flickered twice and went out last. Okay, so this is will change once we select OK. 3, 2, 1. Okay. The alley was always very dark to begin with, and with the light gone, it made it pitch black. I couldn't even see my hands in front of my face. I kept having a feeling that something was going to happen. Scenes from horror movies and homicide shows I'd seen suddenly flashed in my head. Since I was too scared, I looked around and picked another longer way home. The detour was a crowded and lively street. It was full of people hanging out and waiting in front of bars. A lot of arcades were still open. I was planning to head straight home and go to bed, but I saw the latest version of the stuff Sarah's body through the window of an arcade. Hey, there's some text highlighted in blue here. That means it's a term archived in our dictionary. The humans' letters often include some special terms related to their day-to-day lives. These terms will be highlighted. Since we're gods, there's none we don't understand. Therefore, whenever we encounter one of these strange terms, a definition for them will automatically appear in our dictionary. We may either select the highlighted blue text to see the explanations for that specific term, or browse all the archived terms in the dictionary. By the way, similar to the dictionary, we also keep a record of the profiles of everyone who has written to us. All you need to do is select their header profiles in the letter selection screen to read about them. Oh, wow, being a god is so convenient. Okay, what is Sarah's body? A cartoon cat character by British artist Kevin Clifford. It quickly became a global phenomenon because of its unique style and laser-sharp eyes. Its success lifted Clifford out of poverty and made him a worldwide sensation overnight. According to Kevin, the inspiration as a character came to him during a short trip. Okay, interesting. Unfortunately, it was not for sale. I had to get out of the claw machine. I'm not very good at those. I spent almost all of the cash I had on me, but I didn't even come close even once. Miss, we're about to close. Please check your belongings and don't leave anything behind. I lowered my head in disappointment. I noticed that there was a bottle of some kind of drink on the counter that appeared out of nowhere. Perhaps somebody had forgotten it there. I picked it up and threw it in the trash on my way out. I got home and turned on the light. All the boxes I had moved in 2 days ago were lying still in all of the boxes I had moved in 2 days ago were still lying all over the floor. Tomorrow. I'll unpack them tomorrow. I'm still exhausted now. At least the shower felt great. I got out of the shower, climbed into bed, and immediately fell asleep. Good night. First step. Take the first step. We got a new achievement. Look, because of what you did, now it's the alley that has a broken light bulb instead of the tennis court. Therefore, the girl would not have left her keys at the dark tennis court. Even though it was only a tiny change, you have indeed changed your fate. More importantly, you might have changed more than what we are seeing now. The impact of this tiny event could last for a long time, maybe even influence her entire life. A chain reaction like this is called the butterfly effect in the human world. We still can't be certain of how big the impact to our future is going to be. I remember there was a time period when I was hearing all about the butterfly effect, like several years ago. It was when like the Mandela effect was like really popular online. People talking about different things, like how it used to be, and apparently someone's went back in time and changed like brand names and stuff like that. Like there was a show called The Burn. I don't even know the right name of it right now, but I think it was like the Bernstein Bears, right? But then the name was I think it was Berenstain Bears, but people remember it as Bernstein Bears. And then that was a whole like thing that butterfly effect, Mandela effect, someone went back in the past and changed it, and everyone remembers a memory of how it was before time was changed or something like that. Okay, anyway, but we got an S rank, so. But keep in mind that our power has has a potentially dangerous side to it. We must never abuse it. I understand. Well, we are done with this letter. Let's go back and see if there are more. Okay. Done. Being a god is so easy. Don't get too excited now. You still have a lot to learn. I have fetched the letters for you up until now. From now on, you should be getting your own letters. I have placed a mailbox at the bottom of the left corner of the screen. If the flag is up by the mailbox, it means that there are new letters inside. Did you hear a sound like ding ding just now? I didn't, but I guess that is what happened. That is the new letter notification. Whenever you hear it, that means a new letter has arrived. If you process all the letters at hand, go back and check the mailbox. Got it. Okay, well, we got someone new. Okay, we can't click that. Okay, she's cute. I love her pink hair. Confidential. Favorite sport, tennis. Favorite toy, Sarah Spotted stuffed doll. That's her voice. Oh, she has a cute voice too. Okay, post office. We got 2 new letters. Oh. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we can't click his voice again. Okay, well, let's check the new guy. Last words. And these are connected to each other. Interesting. Sometimes we might see multiple messages from 2 or more people at the same time. Why do humans have so many problems? In cases like this, you have to read through both messages in one breath before we can start working on them. Okay, so we have to read both of them. Okay. What are you doing? I'm trying to see how long I can hold my breath. I don't think I could finish 2 letters in one breath. Girl, that's not what he means. It's just a metaphor. Well, what should I do to find the other letter after reading the first one? After reading one letter, you might see the next letter option. Whenever you need to switch between the 2 letters, just use the next letter button to switch back and forth. Okay, I'll start now. It had been 10 years. I had been cursed since the incident. Every time I picked up my paintbrush, my mind would start tormenting me, wreaking havoc. For 10 years, I haven't been able to paint anything. I was suffering, and I deserved it. But now I've spent all of my savings, yet I was still alive. A friend was kind enough to set me up with a teaching job at a high school, teaching art class. I would start tomorrow. It wasn't particularly well paid, but for someone who had been living without power, water, or heat in his apartment, it was like a burning pit of charcoal in the middle of the blizzard. I was really grateful to my friend. Ironically, I had just bought myself some charcoal earlier today. I thought I might be able to leave something worthwhile to the world as a painter before I died. Yes, I wanted to make one of those final masterpieces. I set up my easel. 1 hour passed. 2 hours. 3 hours. I put down the brush. Even if I managed to paint something, how would it be different from all the other garbage in this room? It would just be another piece of soulless trash. Just like me. All trash! I poured the coal into a basin and put it on a bedroom floor. I put on my best clothes. I carefully made my bed, and I lit the coals. Is he burning himself? Hold on. Like, what is going on right now? I tried the doorknob and realized that the door wasn't locked. I chuckled. That was careless of me. Yeah, is he trying to burn himself? I was confused. Wait, he's trying to lock the door, right? So he can kill himself without no one noticing, right? That's what it seems like it. He's not burn himself, but he's trying to die of carbon monoxide poisoning by burning the charcoal and having all the ventilation closed up, so we don't get, so all the oxygen is cut off. I double checked all the doors and windows, making sure that they had been locked and sealed. I couldn't take any chances. I laid down on my bed. All I could see was her face. Here I come, honey. This is so sad. Sorry for making you wait so long. God, I am ready. Please take me away. When? Zhao Ren. Okay, well, let's read the next letter. Uh-oh. This music is, eerie. The apartment building I just moved into was quite old. It didn't have an elevator, so I had to climb the stairs every day. As usual, it was already past midnight when I got back from tennis practice. I noticed something at my door as soon as I walked into the fourth floor hallway. Was that a bouquet of roses? And the Sarah Spotty toy I seen at the arcade a few days ago? All of a sudden, sinking feeling of anxiety. Oh, she has a stalker? Goodness gracious. I've been getting strange emails starting the day before yesterday. This was the first one. I have been watching you for a long time. Write back to me. At first, I thought maybe someone had sent us the wrong address by accident. Or maybe some random phishing email, so I didn't pay any attention to it. But the next day I received another one. Please write back to me. Okay, I mean, the cow emoji is kind of cute. But no, this is serious. I still have no idea what these weird symbols mean. Well, this one obviously means that they're like, write back to me, please, senpai. That's what it's kind of giving. Well, I had no idea what the other symbols meant. It's like a random string of symbols. And whoever written these emails seemed to think that we knew each other. My cell phone suddenly buzzed in my pocket. I had a new email. I clicked on the email app with my shaking finger. Oh, this is so disgusting. We shall finally meet soon. I couldn't read those symbols at all, but the words in the middle. All of a sudden, I felt a chill down my spine, as if I was being watched by someone, or something. But my body had frozen. I didn't dare turn around. I looked in the reflection of the glass of the window right in front of me, trying to see if there was anything behind me. There wasn't. I was just being paranoid. Still, I decided to go and spend the night at Chang's place, just in case. I walked towards the staircase, but then I heard it. Footsteps, coming upstairs, closer and closer. Who could it be at this late hour? Could it be the one who had written those emails? I immediately turned around and walked back towards my apartment. But I lived alone. What if they broke in? He would force me into the corner, pull out a chainsaw from behind him, and cut me to pieces. Oh God, no! I mean, you have every right to be nervous and scared, but I don't know if he's gonna pull out a chainsaw. You might be watching too many horror movies. That seems like a lot. I stopped at the door of my neighbor. Room 414. I choose you. Help me. No matter how hard I knocked, nothing happened. I tried not to cry so much that I wouldn't be heard, but my tears were already streaming down my face. Calm down, Li Wen. The footsteps stopped at the 4th floor and were now moving toward me. There was only one more corner between us. It was too late for me to hide in my own apartment now. I held my tennis racket up. I swung it down as hard as I could with my eyes closed when the person arrived at the corner. The person I'd hit wobbled and fell down the stairs. It was Uncle Sun. He seemed to be just going around the building and picking up the trash. Uncle Sam was laying on the ground. It was not moving at all. Oh my God. What have I done? God, please help me. Please, please. Li Wen. Gosh, my eyebrows hurt from doing like getting to character. Okay, so okay. Wen Zhaozhen is not Jean. I was like, is this Jean? I can't remember who his name was. Okay. Neighbor. But I think that Wen Zhaozhen might be her neighbor. So. Oh, so you can move pieces. Interesting. Okay. When there's more than one letter, the white pieces can be moved left and right as well, in addition to up and down. Since it will impact the fate of both people, you must be careful when making your decisions. Okay. So we can only do a piece. Okay, so I'm guessing that if we move this here, when she's knocking on the door of her neighbor, she'll realize that her neighbor's door is unlocked and she'll be able to get in and hide instead of having to accidentally commit homicide against Uncle Son. And then this one, if he doesn't realize that the door is unlocked, he won't go back to check to make sure the doors are locked, and he won't kill himself with asphyxiation. Okay, I see. Yeah, it changed both of these. I'm pretty sure as we go on, there'll be a lot less blackness, and it'll be harder to mix and match stuff. Right now it's very easy. Like there's only like 1 or 2 pieces to move. Okay, let's see how that is. God, I am ready. Please take me away. What was that noise? I struggled to sit up in my bed. I feel like I was going to explode. Damn it. Just a little longer, and God would have taken me. Whoever made that noise, be it a burglar or utility guy, I would never forgive them. I do wonder if he is her neighbor, though. I wonder if she is the one. I wonder if Li Wen is who made this noise entering his apartment. Excuse me. Sorry for the intrusion. I sneaked into my neighbor's apartment. It was completely dark inside and smelled funny. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the same one. It was so hard to breathe in this apartment. I wonder who would live in such a place. I shut the door right behind me. I accidentally knocked over some jars that were shoveled next to the door, and they made some very loud noises. Still, nobody responded. I suppose that there really wasn't anyone at home. I looked out from the peephole while I held my breath. A thin, old, humpbacked man walked by the door with some empty plastic bottles in his hands. It was just Uncle Son, the manager. Phew. Rank S. This one's easy too. As Shakespeare once said, security is mortal's chiefest enemy, which can mean that overconfidence is man's greatest enemy. What? Who? Shakespeare. He's one of the greatest writers in human history. Overconfidence is man's greatest enemy? Well, But I'm no man. Okay. Then do remember this person's name. Then do you remember this person's name? When shall... I have it on the tip of my tongue. You should pay more attention. His name is Wen Zhaozhen. Okay. I have a bad memory. I get your point. It's only easy because you are just getting started. You will see soon enough. Okay, done. Yeah, this is very interesting. Very interesting. What does this yellow star mean? When you see a yellow star, it means that you have unlocked all the possible endings of that particular event. Oh, should I try to collect all the yellow stars? Oh no, that wouldn't be necessary. Our job is to just help humans with their troubles. No matter how many times we try, how many endings we unlock, for the humans, there's only one ending to each story that they will ever know. So it doesn't really matter whether or not you unlocked all of the endings. In that case, what is the star there for? Well, I know you're asking me, but to be honest, I don't really know. Okay, well. Oh. Okay. We don't get to see his appearance. And we also know nothing about him. Interesting. Farewell. Somebody ruined my plan. Damn it. I sat up and realized I could barely stand. The room was spinning. I feel so nauseated that I almost threw up. Just a little longer, I could have seen her again. The room was completely dark. Excuse me. Since I hadn't been able to pay my utility bill for a while, I lifted my foot and tried to take a step. But I tripped over my easel. The brushes and paints fell all over the place. Also, I'm curious, why would he write a letter? Did he write a letter to God? I mean, I'm assuming that he wrote a letter to God since we got it. But why would he do that if he's trying to die? Like, what was his wish? It didn't seem like he was trying to ask us for anything. He just wanted to die and reunite with his deceased wife. How come we are interfering with this if he didn't ask for help? Did he ask for help? I don't know. I have to go back and reread his other story. Maybe he did ask for help with his suicide plan. But we kind of didn't help him, if that's the case. Because we followed it. Anyway. It took me a while as I was so exhausted. I put out the fire and opened the window. I stumbled upon my flashlight and pressed the button. Oh. Goodness gracious. I heard a deafening explosion. Was that a gas explosion? Typical gas explosions are caused by the drastic expansion of volume caused by the heat and additional gas produced during a burn-in. The concentration of a particular combustible gas or vapor necessary to support its combustion in the air must be within the range known as the flammable range for the gas or vapor. Not enough to fuel if it's too low, and not enough oxygen if it's too high. For instance, the flammable range of carbon monoxide, okay, I was right about the carbon monoxide, is between 12% and 75%. Concentrations of flammable gases in our daily life are typically lower than the flammable range. However, coal burning or indoor gas leaks can still cause the dangerous gas to reach that range. The presence of an ignition source will trigger the explosion immediately. Sources include candles, lighters, stove, as well as possible sparks that are generated by electricity, such as turning on a flashlight, ringing of the bell, or opening a fridge. Wow, that's crazy. Like just opening a fridge, the electricity from that action can cause an explosion. That's crazy. Common combustible gases include natural gas, methane, and carbon monoxide. Yeah, I had actually a situation with carbon monoxide. I remember one time we went home. Did we go home? Okay, I think my mother was smelling something funny earlier that day, but we left and we came back, and my mama still smelled a strange smell, so she just wanted to make sure that it was safe. So we went and called the fire department to come and check out our house. And when they went to our house and checked the levels of carbon monoxide in our house, it was at dangerous levels. So good thing I'm still alive here today with you all. But yeah, I did have a little scary moment with carbon monoxide one time. That was like a year or so ago. And then we also got a carbon monoxide detector fixed and working, so we can have that secure, because it is a silent killer. So I want to know if I'm at risk of death. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too. Okay, next. I thought I saw a slender figure of somebody fall down in the fire before I passed out. When I woke up, oh my goodness, is that Lee Wen? Did she die? When I woke up, the doctor told me that there was a 17-year-old girl who had been sent to the hospital along with me. She hadn't made it. Fortunately, however, I was still alive. I had third-degree burns all over my body. I lost my right arm and couldn't speak. I couldn't even do something as simple as ask what the girl's name was. God, why? Why didn't you just kill me instead? When? Chao Ren. Okay, so we can't change the fact that it's dark and that the utility bill is out. And we also, the ending that's will be changed is the explosion. So we can change the fact that he tripped over the easel and had that fall all over the place. Um Okay, I'm kind of stumped a little. Hold on. I'm assuming that him pressing the flashlight is what sparked the explosion, right? I would assume that. So would there ever be a good place to put this? Like, I don't know where you would put this. Um Maybe you should put out the fire first and open the window first. And then maybe okay, because it was originally like this. It was like this. So as soon as he opened the window, he turned on a flashlight and caused the explosion, presumably. So I wonder if he opens the window first and then he has time to let the air has time to air out the room, air out the house. I mean, air out the apartment. As he's stumbling all over the place and exhausted and picking things up again. That might give time for the gas levels to settle down, and then by the time he's done with that, he turns on the flashlight, and then it won't cause the explosion. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Let's try. Who's there? Oh my gosh, I'm scared. Oh, that scared me. pressed the button on my flashlight in a hurry, and the white light almost blinded me. Ah! I saw a shadow fall to the ground. I quickly turned my light towards the sound and saw that it was a girl that I never met before. I checked to see if she was still breathing. She was. I remembered a school picnic during my junior high years. I had done the same thing to scare a girl in my class. She didn't faint, even though I had done it intentionally. Kids these days are so weak. I carried the girl into my ventilated bedroom, laid her down on my bed, and pulled the sheet over her. I went back to the living room and picked up my paintbrush. I tried to remember her panicking face when she saw me. I suddenly had a new feeling, a feeling that I could paint something special this time, and yet I just fell asleep with the brush in my hand while leaning against the wall. Okay, that seemed right. Okay, period. I got it. Wow, that was so scary. I don't want to see anything else like that ever again. Well, if you do want to see it again, you can. While you're reading the letter, select replay to review the entire letter again. I wonder though, why can't we see all these images? Aren't we just reading their letters? Technically, we are not receiving handwritten letters from humans. You can think of these letters as a manifestation of their will. Okay, so I'm like, I don't think he would write a letter. Like, who would you have had time to write a letter at midnight? Because that's what they were saying. That's how this works. Okay, so it's not a physical letter. It's a metaphysical letter. That's why they include more than just text you're reading. Sometimes we'll receive images of what they see or even how they feel. Wow, that's really amazing. Okay, done. How do you feel? Phew, everything felt so unreal. Am I really a god? Have I always been living here? And has the sky outside always been so red? It's even snowing outside. The weather is so weird. I have no memories of any of this. Is any of this real? Of course. Don't worry about it. Your memories will come back to you slowly. Anyway, do you think this job is perfect for you? And it isn't too hot either, is it? That's true. It's more interesting than I thought. While it is interesting indeed, it's also rather serious. From now on, I won't repeat myself anymore. Some of my previous instruction can be found in the help menu. The content of the help menu will also grow as you learn more about your job. However, you might not be able to find everything you need in there. For instance, if you forget or didn't pay attention to what I've told you, you may never be able to hear it again. So, the truly important information, as you will see here, we highlighted in orange text. Things in orange text are extremely important. When you see something in orange, you should slow down your reading and pay extra attention. Now, answer fast. Which of the following words were highlighted in orange in what I just said? Extremely important. Extremely important? Oh wait, what means, wait. Was that wrong? Hold on, I feel like that was wrong. See, I knew this was going to happen. You have to remember the importance of every word in the orange text. As long as you pay attention to them, they will be very helpful in completing your task. I just started and I've already not made attention. Oh my goodness gracious. What did he say? Oh gosh. Okay. In other words, if you don't, you are likely to get stuck in some of the more challenging tasks. If you don't, you are likely to get stuck in some of the more challenging tasks. Okay, that's an orange. Ooh, excuse me! We are going to restart the game now to teach you a lesson so that you understand how serious I am. You forgot to save your progress. What a shame. You have to restart the game all over again. Not. I was just kidding. Quick, Say thank you because I just saved you. Ha 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 ha. Slot 0 on the lower page at the bottom left corner is an autosave. It will take you back to the most recently autosaved data point. Well, that's all for now. We'll say goodbye for the moment. I hope to see you again soon. I'll be here, waiting. Okay, I'm guessing it's gonna have me retry that quiz. Yes. Okay. Let me pay attention this time. Truly important information. Okay, that is what's an orange. Okay. They tricked me. You know, they tricked me. They tricked me with it. They tricked me by putting those asterisks around extremely important. And those asterisks also caught my attention. So by having those asterisks, you made me think that it's extremely important, not truly important information. Okay. The orange text was truly important information. Correct. The orange text may appear not only in my words, but also occasionally in humans' letters as well. The humans' letters may include a text in the other colors too, such as yellow or blue. The yellow text highlights digital messages in a text message or email, while the blue text highlights messages left in a fax or note. Interesting. Is that going to be important to keep in mind? The orange text, however, emphasizes something else. I'll explain to you later when we see it. You won't remember it all if I say it too much right now. In the end, you just need to remember that the orange text is extremely important. Now, to make sure that you didn't make any lucky guess earlier, we'll have another quiz. Which of the following phrases were highlighted in orange in my previous dialogue, and what is the correct order? Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention to that. I didn't see it. Okay, I know orange text was highlighted first. So... oh boy, I think it is the second one. Okay, correct. Okay, I was like, I didn't think orange text was highlighted. That was the first thing I caught. Okay, I didn't remember the order of the other ones, but good. Come on, Pascal, focus. Phew, thank goodness. Looks like you have truly mastered what I've taught you so far. You are truly my master. Aside from the orange text, in normal mode, you will also notice a lot of red text. If you read those words very carefully, you might find some clues that can help you solve the puzzles. In normal mode, such clues will be highlighted in red. They might help you with your deductions. If you ever find yourself stuck in a puzzle with no idea how to proceed, pay special attention to the red text, and you will surely be able to make progress. Alright? It seems like you should do just fine now. And I can take it easy too then. I believe as you go along with your tasks, you will eventually make the right decisions. Besides, I can see that you have already made a choice. A choice? Yes. I told you at the beginning that handling prayers from humans is our job. However, whether to help them or not, and how exactly you want to change their fates is completely up to you. I see that you have chosen a S ending for them all. That means you are choosing the path of absolute kindness. Interesting. Okay. Well, they were asking me for help, so of course I should help them. What's the alternative? That I should torture them instead? Not necessarily. I just want to remind you that the path of absolute kindness is not an easy one. Especially when you receive letters from two different people. You will have to make you have to make the endings for both sides an S. Simply achieving an S for just one of them won't be good enough. In other words, you have to solve two people's problems at the same time. I see. Well, I'm sure I can find a way. Okay then. By the way, I suppose you don't remember your own name either. Your name is Myth. Okay, Myth. Myth. You are a god who can manipulate people's fates through stories and puzzles. That's why they call you Myth. You might not know this yet, but you are actually quite popular in the human world. Some of the urban legends that have been circulating are stories about you. Wow. Wow. I didn't know I was so impressive. Even though I seem to have forgotten a lot of things, and I'm still adapting and trying to learn. I do feel like helping people, and that makes me happy. If I work very hard, could I possibly grant wishes to everyone in the world? Everyone? Well, you'd be buried by all they let us first. However, if you try your best, you should be able to shape the world a little closer to your liking at the very least. Got it. I'll try my best. Well, from now on, let me know if you have any questions. After all, it's just the two of us here. Is it just the two of us here? I don't know. Oh. Oh, he's so cute. I don't know if it was just me. Like, I don't know if it was just like my computer quality, or if it's supposed to be like this, but like the intro was kind of lagging a little bit. But we got some really interesting looking people, some cuties to meet, and some very interesting CGs, interesting scenes. Okay. Let's see what kind of letters we get today. Okay, so this is Zhao Ren Wen. At 35, attempted suicide at home by burning coal in a sealed room. Save. At 17, broke into someone's home. The owner did not press charges. Okay. And we got this other person over here. Oh, we got 3 more people, actually. Excuse me. Message, my new partner. First day at new school. Ooh, 20,000 pesos. Okay, interested. Oh, that's great. That's so cool. Okay, so we got Chinese. 2 Chinese people. I think this person was also Chinese. This one is Hispanic. I heard them speaking Spanish. And then this one is Korean. It sounds like Korean. Oh, nice. Nice. It's so cool. Hold on, wait. Go back. Okay, let's deal with these people first. The Spanish threw you off for a second. It threw me off for a second too. I was like, hold on, what? Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Ooh, okay. My name is Carlos. I'm 18 years old. It was a big day, because I was finally going to leave Mexico. Uncle Deb had always helped us at the orphanage, and Auntie Benita who was the matron of our orphanage, used to tell me that if I ever wanted to go to a foreign country, I would need to have a passport first. And then I would need a visa. Finally, I could go to the airport and buy a ticket. Then I could fly wherever I want to go. I'd go to my passport, and apparently going to Hong Kong didn't require a visa. All I needed was a plane ticket. Uncle Depp and I had headed out early, before the sun even came out. He had been driving me through the mountains for 6 hours to get to the international airport. Then he stuffed a couple of warm burritos, wrapped in paper, into my backpack before I said goodbye. I didn't know when I would see him again. I already miss him. I walked. Okay, the background noise distracted me. I walked into the airport and I couldn't help but slowing down in admiration. The place was so big. No wonder tickets were so expensive. I need to ask someone to tell me where I could buy a ticket. I bumped into another man. The 3 boxes he was carrying all fell to the ground. I helped him pick up the boxes and stack them. I hope nothing inside got broken. The man was wearing a pair of glasses with golden frames. He seemed like a nice person. He took the boxes out of my hands. It was not mad at me at all. He just nodded and I walked away. He really was nice. Even though there were signs in the airport, I couldn't read many of them. I walked around twice before I found a ticket counters. The ticket cost over 10,000 pesos, just like Uncle Deb had told me. I had all of my savings with me, including the money my parents and sister had left me, as well as what I earned doing part-time jobs. It was only a little over 20,000 pesos altogether. However, something terrible happened. I couldn't find my wallet. I clearly remembered checking to make sure that I had it when I left. Maybe I had dropped it in Uncle Deb's car. I ran outside of the airport. I saw the man whom I had bumped into earlier. He was still wandering around with those 3 boxes. Was he lost? But I didn't have time to worry about him. I had to check and see if Uncle Deb had already left. I couldn't find him anywhere outside the airport. I probably had to head back. I had to walk towards the mountains along the road where we arrived on. I had my backpack on, feeling awful. It wasn't a popular road. It was already too late. There were no other cars in sight. I hoped that I would get to ride tomorrow morning. Lord, why was I so unlucky? What is Mexico? What? It's a big country in the West. West? To our West? Do we live in the East? No, of course not. We don't live in the world, so there's no East or West anywhere. The Earth is a round planet, so the East or West is all relative. Relative? You're not making any sense. Do you mean that the Mexican people would say that their own country's in the West too? Now it's just confusing me too. I mean, I feel like that you can also use East and West just to refer to, East refers to like Asians, and then West refers to Europeans and countries in the Western Hemisphere who are former European colonists, especially like the United States and Canada. You would say that that's the West. I've seen maps of like what's the West and what's the East. A lot of people do not include Africa in any East-West distinction, and there's also hesitant association of South America and the Caribbean and Central America and Mexico with the West. So I don't know. Would you say that Mexicans will call themselves Western? Like, is that a term that you would use or hear Mexican people use? Oh, by the way, the writers of the earlier letters, are they from China? I always feel a strange sense of closeness when I think of China. Mexico feels more distant to me. Why is that? I guess more people write to us from China, maybe? I hear that Chinese people are all over the earth. There are a lot of them in every country. Really? So this letter's written in Chinese too, as well as the earlier ones? Because they all look the same to me. Oh, no, this is our language. In fact, the people who wrote to us come from many different countries and they would use these different languages. But once we receive them, they'll automatically translate into a language we can understand. Okay, so as gods, y'all don't live in the human world. Y'all don't live in the east, west, earth. They don't have that. They don't live in that. But they have Chinese specifically as the language that they speak, which is interesting. Okay, you don't use it, but you could say that you're West according to the maps. That makes sense. Understandable. I would have thought that they would have had like this is a heavenly divine language that we speak, but they speak Chinese. Interesting. Oh wow, being a god is so convenient. Okay. Carlos. Okay. I also apologize. I do not know how to do any like Latin American accents. So it's like, hopefully that wasn't like, what's the word for it? Awkward, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, he's Korean. I thought so. Let's see. My name is, what should I give him? I think he's the guy with the red hair. How do I imagine him? Ooh, wait. A lot of Koreans go to Australia to learn English, don't they? How would I give him like a nice perky Australian accent? He seems like a perky guy. My name is Chung Jong-min, and I recently graduated from Korean Police Academy. I'm 23 years old. It was my first day reporting to the Busan Police Precinct. I hadn't realized that I overslept until my sad spotty alarm clock had gone off for the 10th time. I jumped out of bed, slept into my pants and shirt, and rushed out of the door with my coat in hand. I even knocked over my neighbor's flowers by accident. Sorry, I'll clean up later. I'm running late. Still, I was 45 minutes late when I finally got to the station. The captain was sitting behind the desk. He squeezed the kids these days out of his mouth and he seemed to lose his energy or interest even to speak to me. Then I was transferred to the archives. Archives. How could I have overslept on my first day? Please, Buddha. Please help me fix this. Please, please. Becoming a member of the criminal investigation department as my dream since childhood. I don't want to go to the archives. What is the criminal investigation? Is that much better than archives? Well, criminal investigation is a place where the police try to solve cases and catch the bad guys. But you can't completely disregard the archives either. Chung Jong-min. It's probably Gyun, right? Chung Gyun-min. Okay, we read both letters. Oh. Okay, we can only move. How does this change? How does this happen? I'm so confused. Who does he bump into? Maybe he bumps into someone that is like high up in the police station and that gives him a better job opportunity. I don't know. Or maybe he bumps into a criminal, and him apprehending the criminal on his way to work gives him the respect of the captain, and he's not put in the archives. Maybe that's it. I know how this one helps him by not if he doesn't bump into someone, he won't lose his would he lose his wallet, right? Yeah, well, that's the only place we can put it, so this is the only right answer. Excuse me. I noticed there was a sign ahead. Although I couldn't read it, I had a feeling that it might be pointing to the ticket counters. I had a great instinct, haha. I always had great instincts, haha. A ticket cost over 10,000 pesos, just like Uncle Deb told me. I had all my savings with me, including the money that my parents and sister left me, as well as what I earned by doing part-time jobs. It was only a little over 12,000 pesos altogether. I hoped I would be able to come back someday. 3 hours later, with a booming noise, the airplane took off. I felt something suddenly pushing me into the seat cushion. I could see Mexico City becoming smaller and smaller outside the window, and the orphanage in Monte Tlaloc. Is that how you say that? Is that an indigenous Mexican name? Tlaloc? Tlaloc? I don't know how to pronounce that. Let me look it up. It sounds like an indigenous name. Monte Tlaloc. 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 Okay. Gosh, Wikipedia doesn't have like a pronunciation guide for this. Tlaloc. Tlaloc. Okay, so it says, so Wiktionary says Spanish, you would say Tlaloc, Tlaloc, and then Nahuatl, it will be Tlaloc, Tlaloc. You said it's the name of a god, okay. Yeah, Wiktionary says the name of the rain god, Tlaloc. Cool, interesting. I turned to a small white dot. I suddenly started to feel nervous. My mind was racing. What if the plane went down? I hope it wouldn't fall into the ocean so I could still swim back. But the seatbelt thing was so annoying. And if I couldn't untie it, would I be dragged into the water with the plane? I heard there was something called insurance that would pay for a lot of the money if I died. I should get that. Wait. If someone died, I should wait. I heard there was something called insurance that would pay for a lot of the money if someone died. I should get that, and maybe it would be an. Okay, I think the grammar in this game is a little off with the translation a little bit. I don't. That seems awkward. Okay. Maybe it'll be enough for Alicia to buy a new house in Mexico City. Just when my brain was spinning with all these questions, a beautiful lady asked if I would like some water. No. I checked my wallet again. There was only a little over 10,000 pesos left. Okay, after the many times that he said pesos, he done said pesos how many times already? And now only now we are getting like a journal entry for this. Interesting. The peso is a currency that is common in countries and regions of former Spanish colonies. The most widely circulated one right now is the Mexican peso, coded MXN. In addition, there are also the Cuban pesos, CUP, the Philippine pesos. Since the Mexican peso is not considered a world currency, in some regions around the world, it has to be exchanged to US dollar before being exchanged in the currency of a third country. Is that true? Interesting. That's so kind of sad, actually. From now on, I must be careful about spending every single one of them. I heard something was really expensive in Hong Kong. I must save up before I find Alicia. Alicia, sister, I'm coming to find you. The Lord will bless us. Okay, nice. I heard the voice of a woman screaming in the crowd. Oops. I heard the voice of a woman screaming in the crowd. Stop him! He's caught my purse! I looked down at the man I bumped into was holding a woman's purse. He actually tried pushing me away. As a policeman defending justice? How could I let a criminal escape the judgment of the law? I grabbed his collar. Take this! I took the bastard to the police station. I ended up late, of course, but the captain let me off the hook for stopping a robber. Captain Gong glanced at the blood stains on my shirt, gave me a faint smile, and asked me why I wanted to become a police officer. I stood up straight, put my hands behind my back, and held my head high, and replied firmly, to defend justice! The captain scratched his balding head and smiled. Go report to Unit 4. What? Unit 4? I felt my heart start to sink. I had heard so many rumors about Unit 4, even when I was still in the police academy. Well, at least you got into the criminal investigation unit. Might not be the best unit, but at least you got in. Well, we got rank S for both of them, so that's good. Okay, we got some more letters. Porque siempre me... I need to repeat it, hold on. Kidnapping, okay, wait. Porque siempre me pasa esto. Porque siempre me pasa esto. Hold on. Me pasa esto. So, porque means because. Siempre, always. Me pasa esto. Esto is like this. I don't know what me pasa might mean though. I got a little bit of that. I don't know exactly what that means. Could you translate for me? Relationship 1, Alicia, older sister who's 9 years older than him. Oh, por qué is a question, not the conjunction. Why does this always happen to me? Oh, is it pasa like que pasa? What's happening? Okay, so por qué siempre, why always me pasa happen to me? Esto, this, is that how it is? Like, why does this always happen to me? Okay. Relationship 2, Benita, patron of the orphanage. Okay. His vital information is censored. Okay. Reason for becoming a policeman, justice. At 23, graduated from Korean Police Academy and joined the Busan Police Department Criminal Investigation Division assigned to Unit 4. Okay. I don't know Korean at all, so I don't know anything what this says. Yeah. I can read Hangul. I can read it, like I can pronounce it, but I don't know what it says. I can just pronounce it. There was this one funny thing though. There was this there's this Danganronpa fan game that's made by a Korean group, and they released a news update of their game in Korean, and for some reason I couldn't translate the web. I mean, no, I could translate the website, but they had an image embedded, and the image you can't translate it with Google. So I just looked at it, and then I realized that since I could read Hangul, I could read what the words were saying, and from that I figured out that most of the words that were there, they were written, they were English loan words. So I could just read the Hangul and figure out the English loan word. I was like, oh, it's saying this, because it was just like, hey, like the sprites, backgrounds, like that type of stuff, and a lot of it was in like Korean or English loan words. I was like, oh, I could read that, but that's just funny. Okay, this one's also connected to each other. Interesting. Hong Kong was different than what I imagined. Back home in Mexico, everything was so colorful, but Hong Kong was just gray. Gray streets, gray buildings, gray store signs, gray homeless people. There was me, sitting in the middle of them looking odd. I never knew that pesos could be exchanged in Hong Kong dollars here. When I woke up, I found more coins at my feet. I had to take them. I must survive. None of the homeless people seemed to like me very much. Perhaps because they could only get about half as many coins as I had a big sister named Alicia. She was 9 years older than me. We both grew up in an orphanage in Monte Tlaloc. It was a rural place. You had to travel 4 kilometers to get to the nearest town, Coatepec, just to make a phone call. I couldn't remember anything about my own parents. My big sister was the only person in this whole world. 9 years ago, Alicia left Mexico to make some more money. She used to write me letters every few months. Every time the mailman came, I would be so excited to see if there was an envelope with my name on it. Even though I couldn't read much, Auntie Benita would always read them to me. Alicia didn't seem to have the easiest time, but she had seen so much of the outside world. And by reading these letters, I got to see what Alicia might have seen as well. I could almost feel like I was right there with her in the big, new, interesting, fascinating world where we never seen before. However, we had stopped hearing from her about a year ago. The last letter came from Hong Kong, so I'd asked Uncle Depp to find a tutor for me who could teach me to read and speak a little of the local language. I worked so hard to make more money for the trip. I had done all this so I could come to Hong Kong, even though I wasn't sure that she was still in the city. Still, even if there was a tiniest of hope, I would never give up. I knew I had to find my sister and make sure she was okay. I arrived at Pitt Street. Pitt Street had been the postmark of Alicia's last letter. Maybe someone nearby might have seen her. Before I left, Auntie Bernita gave me an old cell phone. I pulled up a picture of Alicia on her phone. I held up the phone, asking people door to door if they see my sister. I couldn't tell if they simply couldn't understand me. They would wave their hands at me every time before I had barely spoken. Almost halfway through the street, I found myself behind a huge crowd of people. Thick, dark smoke was coming out of the building nearby. People were shoving and running out of it. More and more people starting to gather on the street. Many of them were even taking pictures with their phones. The fire truck finally arrived. My cell phone suddenly rang. My cell phone fell to the ground. My cell phone was vibrating to the ground. Then it fell through the storm drain. No! The sewer water was flowing rapidly in the drain. I held to the drain and tried my best to look down. My phone was just stuck somewhere. I looked for a long time. I even tried to reach with my hand, but I couldn't get it. I looked disappointed, desperate. I couldn't pretend anymore. I fell into the ground, feeling like shit. That cell phone was the most valuable thing I had. It had the only picture of my sister on it. Lord, please help me. I really didn't know if I could ever find my big sister without it. Carlos. Poor Carlos. Next letter. We gonna help you, Carlos. The office wing of the Criminal Investigation Unit looked like a small warehouse that hadn't been organized in forever. It was crowded and messy in the first place. Then, almost every desk had stacks of files that were at least 20 centimeters tall, as well as all kinds of evidence and other random items. I stood up straight and gave a salute. Oh, CG, nice. Chong Jung Min reporting for duty at Unit 4. There were only 2 other people beside me. One of them was wiping his rifle. He looked at me with a strange, examining look on his face. The other one had dark circles around his eyes and it looked like he hadn't slept for days. He was looking over some files. Judging from the seat, this must be the infamous lieutenant of Unit 4, Kang Pak Ya? Oh, Lieutenant, actually. I think that's how they would say it. Lieutenant Khan gave me a glance with a half-smoked cigarette in his mouth. Then he mumbled, "You, over there." I followed the direction of his look and saw the desk that he seemed to be referring to. Many old bags from McDonald's. McDonald's was stacked on top of it, all filed with leftovers and trash, and also directly opposite of the bathroom, dicing it. It was okay, as long as I had somewhere to sit. I was about to ask Lieutenant Kang what I should do next, when the phone on his desk rang. He took the call, put down the phone, and announced to us that there was a gang-related hostage situation 2 blocks away from the station. I never noticed the opportunity to defend justice would arrive so soon. Lieutenant Kang put a cigarette on an ashtray and stood up. I followed him. He grabbed his coat and asked, "Hey, you guy, you got your gun?" "My gun? No, not yet." "Then where do you think you're going?" "Then where do you think you're going? Stay by the phone. Take notes if anything comes up. Don't speak too much." I can still help without a gun. As a policeman, I skipped it. Okay, I can reread it when we come back. Justice? Lieutenant Kang burst out into laughter before I could finish my sentence. You think justice is going to block a bullet from hitting you? Well, kid, I've seen plenty of idiots like you. In my unit, there is only one rule you need to remember at all times, which is to follow the orders. That wasn't what I meant at all. I was just trying to help. First day on the job and I was already having such a misunderstanding with my lieutenant. But before I could explain myself, Lieutenant Khan continued. "If you have a problem with staying by the phone, you can just go home and don't bother coming back tomorrow either. I'll let the old man know." After they left, I sat down on my seat opposite the bathroom. As my nose was catching glimpses of the faint smell, I let out a defeated sigh. When I had been in the police academy, people would always have an understanding smile on their face whenever Unit 4 was brought up. Everyone had heard all sorts of rumors about this place. Lieutenant Kang was the infamous dictator of the criminal investigation department. Everyone must follow his orders without question. Okay, so everyone must follow his orders without question. Blue means something. I forgot what blue meant though. He had a peculiar personality and was extremely rough, even cruel with the criminals. Besides, Lieutenant Kang was a lot younger than the other unit's lieutenants. Therefore, many people speculated that Lieutenant Kang had only gotten his position because of nepotism. As a result, no rookies ever wanted to join Unit 4. As for the unit that everyone dreamt of getting into, that would be Unit 1. Unit 1 had over 40 officers and was widely considered to be the best unit in the department. Yet, here I was, assigned to Unit 4. I was sulking when the phone rang again. There was another hostage case in Bupyeong-dong. Is it Bupyeong-dong? Since no one in Unit 4 was available, I suppose it's my time to shine. I hurried to the scene in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. It was a 10-story apartment building. I could vaguely see the people on the ledge of the rooftop. People told me that they were a married couple. The husband had borrowed too much money from loan sharks and couldn't pay them back. That was why he wanted to jump off the building, and he forced his wife up there with him. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, let's see how I, Chang Yong-min, would brilliantly solve this crisis. One of his feet was already on the edge of the ledge. He was holding a knife against his frightened wife's neck. Oh, goodness. I walked over there. Stop! I'm telling you to stop! He got riled up and his right foot missed the ledge. He fell over the edge and dragged his wife with him. Wait! No! Before I even had a chance to talk him down, both of them disappeared out of my sight. It was a terrible scene at the bottom of the building. Even though I was 10 floors above the ground, I still feel like I could smell the blood. It almost made me sick. I stood there in shock. For the first time, I actually recognized what it felt like to be a real policeman. Oh God. What the hell have I done? Could I be any more stupid? Please, Buddha. Please let me have another chance. Please. Chang Yong-min. Wow. Uh-oh. Okay, so I noticed that there's a common theme of a cell phone. So I'm pretty sure the cell phone we're gonna have to mix that up. Hold on just a second, y'all. Okay. Let us start. Okay, so this one. Thick dark smoke was coming out of the building nearby. People were many of them were taking pictures. Fire truck arrived. Cell phone suddenly rang. My cell phone fell to the ground. Okay, this one. One of his feet was already on. Okay, let's have this over here. Oh, wait, do we walk? No, wait, hold on. Okay, there's a fire, which we can't change. How about we have his cell phone ring and his cell phone falls to the ground. Oh, this is hard. Ah, okay. Fire truck arrived. I think this is probably the only thing that should be over here. Walk over there. Fell to the ground and rang. Or rang then fall to the ground. Okay, this is how I imagine it. I imagine with this one right now, he noticed that there's a fire in the building. And the fire truck comes and deals with it. And then that's it. Everything's taken care of. With this one, I imagine that I kind of want to put the fire truck here because it's also an emergency, but hold on. He falls. No, he only falls because we startle him. So maybe if I walk over there, or maybe if he walks over there, his cell phone falls to the ground. He goes to pick it up, and it rings. That might distract him, but let's see. But if he's distracted, what if he kills his wife while he's distracted? I don't know. But I don't want him. I don't want Carlos to lose his phone. So I'm gonna have. I don't think this should be on that side. Okay. Let's try this and see how it is. I'm less confident this one now. I'm less confident. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was total chaos in front of the burning building. I put my cell phone back into my pocket and left the crowd. I walked to the next street, asking pedestrians about Alicia. Oh, this is terrible! Oh my god! What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Am I supposed to walk? How about he? Okay, maybe he wants. Okay. Okay, so I'm. Maybe he should walk over there so he can talk to people about his sister. Maybe that's the thing. Hold on, let's try that. Okay, we didn't start with Carlos, which I'm scared about. The phone kept ringing. Who the hell will be calling me at this godforsaken moment? I was about to bend over and pick it up. The man suddenly got riled up. He waved the knife at me wildly. Uh-oh. This doesn't seem good either. Don't move. Don't answer the phone. His wife saw a chance as the knife had left her neck, so she bit his left wrist as hard as he could. Okay, maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. Maybe it's good. He dropped the knife out of pain. Then she ran over and hid behind me before he could pick it back up. The man suddenly began wailing like a child. So, even you are abandoning me? Fine. I'll just go by myself. Oh, well, this is bad too. He raised his knife and cut his own throat open. Didn't have enough time to react. I was suspended due to serious consequences caused by recklessness, unauthorized actions. Well, that's terrible. It was total chaos in front of the burning building. Fire trucks, firemen, fire hoses, fire department had taken charge of the situation. I walked to a fireman nearby and asked if there's anything I could do to help. A foreigner? He asked as he looked at me. You really shouldn't stay here. If we don't put out this fire today, we'll be dying. You will be dying 1,000 deaths. He saw my confused look and added, You are new here. This is the headquarters of the Black Dragon Gang, the most powerful gang in the area. Yes, gang, bad people. There are gangs in your country, right? So stay away from here. Leave. Just go get some soda or something. The Black Dragon Gang. First established by Lin Deshu. The Black Dragon Gang has gradually become the largest local gang organization in Hong Kong. The gang itself is almost inseparable from the business under the Lin Co umbrella. Its reach includes drugs, firearms, underground gambling, and so on. It used to be one of the two major gangs on the island, along with the Blood Gang, whose motto is blood for blood. However, it quickly grew to 3 times the size of its rival after getting into the drug smuggling business. Nevertheless, lots of young people still choose the Blood Gang because of its emphasis on loyalty. See? Bad. Okay, it's better, but not the best. Okay. Chaos? Maybe the... Okay, hold on. Maybe the fire truck should be on this side, as I thought. So the fire truck can save that man from bleeding to death. Okay, let's see what this is about. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The fire trucks haven't arrived yet. It was total chaos in the burning building. More and more people injured were being carried out of the building. A man in a black trench coat seemed to have summoned a lot of people to help put out the fire. I wasn't injured and I had all my limbs. I thought I should go help too. I walked toward the man. Excuse me, I would like to... A huge man in a black suit appeared in front of me and blocked my sight. The suit guy seemed to be twice my size. He looked down upon me, and I could see a deep scar on his face. I swallowed anxiously and had no idea what to say next. The suit guy held up his hand and pointed to somewhere behind me. The truck full of fire extinguishers had just arrived. The fire was finally put out by sunset. I sat on the stairs at the bottom of the building exhausted. I was covered with dust and ash from head to toe. All of the injured people had been sent to the hospital. The man leading the team had already left. My stomach began rumbling. Man, if only I could get a free meal for helping put out the fire. Is it too hard? It's a little hard. I got a B though, so it was close. Is it too hard? A little bit. Well, you did choose lunatic mode after all. If you're feeling a little stuck, you could try using hints to get more clues. I can't move this? Oh wait, no, never mind. I have to retry. It went better. Maybe his phone should ring. Yeah. Okay. Maybe his phone should ring after the fire truck. Maybe, okay. But it said that the police was bad, though. Okay, I think I should have his phone fall to the ground. Yeah, I think I should have his phone fall to the ground and pick it up, because that would still startle the assailant to give the wife a chance to escape, and then the fire truck will arrive if he does decide to slit his neck, or they could take him away to the hospital. I think that's how it should be. Let's see. I ain't gonna use no hints until I feel completely stuck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I tried to talk some sense into him. I told him that one could always earn back the money. I said he still had his wife's full support, so he shouldn't give up just yet. I even tried asking him if he would like some dolsot bibimbap for dinner. But none of the techniques I had learned from the academy worked. The standoff kept going. The wife was clearly physically exhausted, as she looked like she was mentally drained too. Honey, if you really want to die so much, let me go with you then. I hope we can both be happy in our next lives. Oh gosh, this is not what I thought was gonna happen. She grabbed the knife on her neck and cut her own throat open. Blood was gushing out. Then she collapsed on the ground that had been colored red with her own blood. The man's face was covered in blood. He seemed to have lost the ability to talk. He slowly knelt down and took the knife out of the woman's hands. It looked like he had completely lost his mind. I couldn't let it happen a second time. I sprinted ahead a few steps and knocked the knife out of his hand. I pinned the man down on the ground. He looked at his wife's body, which was only half a meter away and losing its warmth. Then he wept. Neither of us have expected a situation to turn out like that. I was suspended. Ugh. I was suspended due to serious consequences caused by my recklessness, unauthorized actions. What happened to the fire truck, though? The fire truck should have showed up, right? Hold on. I want to have the fire truck be the only thing that happens. Like, or maybe I'll put the phone falls after the fire truck and see. The fire truck one is not addressed at all, and I'm like, how did I put that there so it will prevent this? It will prevent the deaths. Oh, okay. Well, that's bad. Okay. Someone quickly ran past me and bumped into my arm. My phone was knocked out of my hand. I stopped at another man's feet. The fire trucks haven't arrived yet. However, this man in a black trench coat seemed to have summoned a lot of people to help put out the fire. He picked up my phone with his left hand. It was ringing with a joyful ringtone, and a little cartoon lamb was dancing happily on the screen. The man tossed my phone back to me, and I lost myself in the melody, The Little Lamb Billy. It's Alicia's favorite song, and she used to sing it to me all the time. But I didn't realize I forgot to answer the phone until it stopped ringing. I called back. It was Auntie Benita. Okay, this seems like it's going well. Okay. She was calling from a convenience store in Coatepec, and she wanted to check if I had any news about my sister. She told me to let her know as soon as I found her. Besides Alicia, Auntie Benita was the kindest person I ever met. Once I got a real job and became rich, I promised I would take care of her in the orphanage. I left the crowd and walked to the next street, asking the pedestrians about Alicia. Okay, hey, okay. Okay, hold on. What if he doesn't walk? What if he walks after the fire truck comes up? So he doesn't agitate. Maybe him not moving at all. Maybe having him walk after the fire truck would not have him agitate the killer. It will already be handled by professional firefighters. And not the killer, but like, you know, the guy on the roof, and he walks over there to, like, you know, as a police officer after the fact. Maybe this is A, so I feel like the phone falling to the ground, maybe that was bad only because it was so chaotic with the fire truck and the water and things like that. So having his phone fall to the ground is not a bad thing. So it's fine if it's over there. Okay, let's see how this is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! I'm telling you to stop! Oh God, did I mess up again? He got riled up and his right foot missed the ledge. He fell over the edge and dragged his wife with him. Wait! No! Where's the fire truck? Is the fire truck just not gonna show up? Okay, I'm gonna use a hit after this. Before I even had a chance to talk him down, both of them disappeared out of my sight. Oh, okay. I was like, where's the fire truck? I put the fire truck here so many times to prevent the deaths, and nothing's happening. Okay, finally it's working now. Fortunately, the fire department had set up a cushion below. Oh my gosh. You moron! Do you know how big of a mess you've made? Oh, never mind. This is his instructor, his lieutenant. You moron! Do you know how big of a mess you've made? That case was not even under our jurisdiction. Back at the station, Lieutenant Kang was outraged. He was yelling at me so loudly that the entire building could hear him. The hospital called me and informed us the couple was okay. However, the wife had been 4 months pregnant. They couldn't save the baby. I was suspended due to serious consequences caused by my recklessness, unauthorized actions. Okay, but he still got a rank A. Well, now this one's bad. Okay, give me a hint. Yes. My phone was vibrating. We're trying. Stop. I'm telling you to stop. Does that mean it's hold on. Does that mean this needs to be changed and stop until you stop needs to be changed? Maybe we need to put walked over their back over here. Okay, let's try this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who the hell will be calling me at this godforsaken moment? I turned around and answered the phone quietly. It was from the station. Oh. Ah, nice. Okay, so I got this, but I also put on the other side that the phone fell to the ground. And he missed this instruction. Okay. So now that he has this instruction, he can go back and let the fire department take care of it instead of having him blamed for his recklessness. I see. They told me something important had happened at the unit. I must get back as soon as possible and await further instructions. I hung up the phone and turned around, only to realize that the couple had disappeared from the ledge. Fortunately, the fire department had set up a cushion below. What? How come I still got in trouble? Okay, I read this already. Come on now. Was I suspended? Okay. Well, we read this too. Okay, well this is different. Someone quickly ran past me and bumped into my arm. My phone was knocked out of my hand and dropped onto the ground. It kept spinning ahead and almost fell down the storm drain. That was close. It was a total chaos in front of the burning building. I left the crowd and walked to the next street, asking pedestrians about Alicia. Literally me. This is me. I can't seem to get it to work no matter how hard I try. Am I too stupid? It's not your fault. Something seems to be tied up over there with Kambaki. Yeah, it's like he just, no matter what I do, he just blames me for everything, no matter what I do. Something seems to be tied up over there with Kambaki. Once you solve the problem over there, it might impact this one too. Huh? Is that a thing too? Huh. Okay. Occasionally, we might not be able to solve the current case because of something that's happened somewhere else. Whenever this occurs, you'll see orange text in the letters. The appearance of the orange text typically means that you will need to consult another letter to handle the current one. So basically, if I see orange text in a letter, I should go and check on some other letters first, right? Correct. Sometimes you might need to handle the other letters first. Other times, it might just mean that you need to look for clues in the other letters. In either case, it really depends on the letters, and you will have to use your own judgment. This doesn't happen too often, but if you do encounter them, make sure you take advantage of the hints and the letters to help you. Got it. I'll go read the letter from Kang Baekya first. Okay. So, something important happened back at the unit, and I need to head back as soon as possible. Left the crowd and walked back to the next street. Walk to the next street. Ask some pedestrians about Alicia. Okay, can we retry this after the fact? I'm scared to do it. You might have already noticed that every time you open a letter, you can see a number of small colored squares here. Oh yes, what are those? The small squares can be one of 3 colors, yellow, pink, and gray. Some of them are solid, while some of them are empty. These squares represent all the possible endings for the events described in a specific letter. The solid ones stand for the endings that you've discovered, while the empty ones are the endings that you have yet to reach. One of the solid squares, the yellow one marks the selected ending that you have chosen at the moment, which means that the yellow square can only be solid and never empty. The solid pink ones, on the other hand, represent endings that you have discovered but are not selected at the moment. The pink empty squares are the endings you have not discovered yet. All of these squares are strictly arranged in order S, A, B, C, D, F, X, which can be helpful reference when you are making your decisions. Have a good night, oh copy flower. I hope you have sweet dreams as well. Really appreciate you being here. What about the gray squares? Gray squares may be either solid or empty, but they are less common. Sometimes the development of certain events may be impacted by other people and things. For instance, this incident with Chang Kyung-min was affected by the incident on Kang Baekya's side. That's why there's a gray square here. A gray square means that under current conditions, the probability of this potential ending happening is 0, or in layman terms, it could not happen. Once we solve the related pending problem, the square will no longer be gray, meaning that it's not possible for us to reach this ending. Meanwhile, a previous ending that we have reached until now will turn gray instead. She's confused, but I understand. I think I understand. If we change, if we deal with another letter that's impacting the situation surrounding this letter, and that if one of the endings is now gray, that means we can't get one of those bad endings in normal, right? Since like that obstacle is removed. I understand it's very confusing when I explain it to you like this. However, I believe once you are done with Chang Kyung-min's story, you'll figure out how it works. Got it. I'll give it a shot. Okay. Back. At 23. Suspended for interfering in a hostage situation while authorization causing serious consequences. Well, not for long. We'll save ya.
Deus, ¿qué hice mal?
하느님, 저를 용서해 주소서.
I heard Dios. Is this Carlos's sister, Alicia? That might be it. And then I'm pretty sure this is the lieutenant. Okay. So his story is connected to this woman's story. Heavenly Father's Gardens, Bastards. Okay, well, let's deal with him first. My name is Kang Baekya and I'm a cop. I've been doing this for 7 years. Or is it 8? I can't really remember. Today, an old man assigned us another newbie to my unit. He had always wanted my unit to become as big as Unit 1. Why did I need so many people? Detective work isn't like street fighting. I had a headache whenever I pictured the image of so many people in the unit passing the lunches over their heads during the lunch break. And this newbie today was full of that kind of fighting for justice crap. Lunatic. Well, screw it. Whatever. I was just going to wait for a few days, then I'll find an excuse to send him over to Unit 1. Everyone will be happy then. We were always very busy. The files for the open cases have been stacking up on the desks, starting to resemble small hills. Among all the police precincts in the entire Republic of Korea, Busan might be the one of the top 5 busiest precincts thanks to the violent gangs in the area. Musun Gang and Boom Boom Gang. The biggest violent gang in the Busan region. It mostly deals with drugs and arms trafficking. There are 4 groups within the gang: the Taesang group, Yusung group, and Gangmun group. And the Inwoo group. Their bosses' most famous saying was, "As long as you're still breathing, you gotta do what you gotta do." The only other major gang that is able to rival the Musun gang is the Busan region. Its business encompasses prostitution, entertainment, and gambling. Unlike the Musun gang, the Gungbun gang is less violence prone and puts more emphasis on intelligence. One of their bosses' most famous sayings is, "As long as it pays, you gotta do what you gotta do." Okay. These two gangs never made our lives easy. Recently, the old boss of the Musun gang had been severely ill. His underlings were all itching to become a successor. There were at least a dozen people killed in the infighting every day. If I kept saving up my vacation days like this, I would probably have enough time to plan for my next trip to be the moon. The case today was an annoying one too. It was a hostage case where the kidnapper and the hostage belonged to the same gang. It was a so-called family matter. What was even worse was that the kidnapper was someone quite important to the Musun gang. The old man always told us to keep things easy so as to avoid direct confrontation with the gangs. He told me again today, multiple times, to bring the kidnapper without hurting anyone. Without hurting anyone? Pfft, if he really wanted that, he wouldn't have assigned the case to me. I was crawling in a narrow air vent duct. I could hear breathing sounds all around me, both loud and quiet, as well as the sounds of fans. The air smelled disgusting. I loosened my collar a little. Fuck this. I'd rather climb up from the outside of a building than with my bare hands than suffocate inside this goddamn tube. Why couldn't I just walk in from the door and pop 2 shots in his head? I finally arrived at the top of the moon. The voices coming from below seemed very weird through the vent. You stay there and don't fucking move. All of you, don't move. The target was sitting on the couch on the other end of the room. He kept waving his gun in his hand around me and pointed at the other one's heads every once in a while. Those poor bastards were all his underlings. None of them even dared to look up. I've seen lots of junkies that would get so high that they wouldn't recognize their own mother. Still, the scene right below me was so unusually funny that I almost chuckled. The area below the vent was right in the view of the bay window. Anyone could easily see inside the room from across the street through that window. My task today was to lure them over. I got closer to the vent, trying to observe the situation more closely. Clang! A loud noise came from somewhere. Don't move! I heard a man's voice. A loud bullet flew out without me seeing it. The nails fastening the vent register had been shattered by the bullet, and it bounced off a few meters away into a corner. After a tumble and a half, I fell and smashed into the white carpet along with the vent register. 5 meters away, the junkie was holding his gun with a shocked expression on his face, and the smoke was still coming off the dark, shaking barrel. Near my shoulder, my shirt had turned from its original red to another kind of red, and the colored patch kept getting larger. let yourself get hurt again, idiot. A voice that I couldn't be more familiar with appeared in my head once again, while also sounding like it was coming from outside this world. Oh crap. I had come back to this room again. The room was extremely dark. There was no furniture inside except for a light bulb hanging from the center of the ceiling. A slightly shorter person walked out from a dark corner reluctantly. His hair was all messed up, and his eyes didn't even look alive. As soon as he pushed me away from underneath the light, a mysterious force dragged me into the corner. I was swallowed by the darkness. Whenever I was in danger, this guy would come out against my will. But at a moment like this, oh shit, what a shitty day. Whoever stood under the light would have to control the body. From this moment on, I was no longer in command of my body. I managed to dodge all the flying bullets coming towards me with extreme agility and human postures. When I got back on my feet, I somehow had a gun in my hand. The 13 9mm bullets. Wait, the 13 9mm bullets in the magazine were fired like a machine gun. Each of them went through his head. Broken eyeballs splashed all over the barely recognizable face of the junkie. Everything was a terrible. Is all this going on because of him? Hold on a second. How come I keep saying like I'm the god reading these letters. I don't know, I just kinda identified with the police officer, like the new one. How come Officer Chung, how come he's the one that's being put on suspension? He just committed like murder, like police brutality. Like, what is this? Why is Chung on suspension for misconduct? The junkie had collapsed on the floor like a pile of mud. But now the gun was aimed at his henchman that was still all tied up. Things were taking an ugly turn. One bullet, one life, no waste. But I hesitated when the gun pointed at the muscular guy with a tattooed head. The muscular guy suddenly swept me at my ankle with his leg. I lost my balance, knocked my head on a short table and passed out. When I woke up, I was lying in a hospital with tubes coming all out all over my body. Mean June was sitting next to me, sound asleep. 8 deaths. As per usual, I had to write 1,000 words for each death in the report, which meant I need to write 8,000 words. Moreover, the target this time was not just a regular punk. His father was the leader of the Gangwon group with the Musum gang, Choi Yohan. That would mean another 4,000 words at least. Gosh, my head hurts so bad. Sweet Jesus, give me a break, please. Wow, it was almost like I was watching an action movie. If only I had some popcorn. Don't ruin the silent mood by talking about popcorn. Okay, sorry, there's no popcorn here, but we still have osmanthus cakes. Oh, that's great too. I'm not very picky. Oh my gosh, girl, this is real life. Or is it real? If we just had the chance to just rewrite everything as if it never happened. So, if I want to eat the cakes while I'm watching a movie, while I'm working, is there any way I could do it hands-free? These letters are not like regular letters that can just be read in front of me. I have to follow the thoughts of the writer by confirming it sentence by sentence. Stupid lizard girl. Although there's indeed a way. If you want to free your hands to eat or do something else, all you need to do is hit A. I guess A is like auto. I can't do it right now. Okay. Then the letters will enter autoplay mode. Furthermore, if you want to read it faster while you're not eating, you can activate the skip text option in the options. Afterwards, every button pressed will reveal an entire line of text immediately. All of these tips have been archived in Helpmania, which will be periodically updated as we go along. Have any questions? Don't forget to check the information there. Got it. I don't think I would do that though. I kind of like having each line come to me one at a time. Having all the text all at once could be overwhelming, and I could be tempted to skim it. So to not be overwhelmed, I'm just gonna do it as it is already. Oops. Sorry. Come back, yeah. Next letter. Alicia. Good. She looks so pretty. Like, even just a silhouette is pretty. My name is Alicia. I'm 18 years old. I was born and raised in Mexico. I have a little brother named Carlos. He was 9 years younger than me. He's the He's the only family I have left. We're both orphans. The orphanage was so poor that they couldn't afford to send us to school. I had to come out and make some money so I could keep my brother in school. If I could make enough money, I thought that maybe we could eventually move out of the orphanage and start a new life. Just the two of us. I heard that America was a place full of chances for everyone. That was where I should go. A travel agency inside Mexico City had told me that crossing the desert, stowing away on a train, or getting across the Rio Bravo were all very risky and dangerous. Therefore, they had established a route via the ocean. Even though it would be slightly more expensive, it was guaranteed to be safe. And everyone who had taken this route had gone to America. Oh, it sounded like you got human traffic, girl. Oh, this is so terrible. Where is Rio Bravo? I've never heard of that. Oh. Okay, I haven't heard of that because it's called apparently Rio Grande in America. So yeah, so it's a river. Yeah, I've heard of the Rio Grande or the Rio Grande. Okay, but apparently it's called Rio Bravo del Norte in Mexico. Okay, interesting. So it's that little river that divides Mexico and Texas. Okay. Yeah, I see. I spent the money I saved for months and bought myself a ship ticket. There were several other young girls with me on the Girl, no! We were locked in a small room and we were not allowed out. This is so real though. This is so real. A lot of immigrants or refugees leaving countries to go to a new place, a lot of them do get caught up in human trafficking because they try to find a way out of, their country to go wherever they want to go, and they get caught up with scammers like these. Alicia, I hope she's okay. At first, we thought that it was just so that people wouldn't find us being smuggled across the border. But it had been so long, we must have arrived by now. Half a month had passed, and we were still at sea. We were finally certain that we had been conned. After about a month, the ship had finally arrived at the port. We then moved to a building near the port where the guards watched us. Where were we now? Which country is this? We're going to be sold as slaves or prostitutes? I crouched in the corner with my mind running wild. Every once in a while, a guard would come in and take a sobbing girl out. There were fewer and fewer people left in the room. Finally, it was me and another girl named Julie left. Julie suddenly stood up and tried to hit the guard at the door facing us. She was holding a rock in her hand, but she didn't succeed. The rock fell to the ground, and her arm was grabbed so tightly by the guard that it looked like it was about to snap. She looked at me with a pleading look in her eyes. I really wanted to help her. I didn't want to be so either. I was so scared. The guard had the gun. Everyone outside had the gun. Julie lowered her... Oh my. Julie lowered her head. When she lifted it back up, the guard was screaming like a pig being slaughtered. Half of us missing. Oh, Julie! 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 Goodness gracious! Half of this missing ear was in Julie's mouth. Oh, gosh. But I heard a few gunshots, along with a loud cursing. Julie fell down and stopped moving. Her eyes were open so wide, as if she had just come out of a nightmare. The injured guard slammed the door angrily, with one hand covering his ear. Soon another person came. How much force do you have to chew off someone's ear? Goodness gracious, she must have been hard. So hard that she tore it off. Goodness gracious. This one seemed to be nicer. He had a half a bottle of water with a bottle of beer with him. He sat down at the door and looked at me, then looked at Julie, who was lying on her own blood. He didn't seem to care about what happened at all. An hour later, his bottle was empty, and he had fallen asleep in the chair. It was pretty late. Maybe I wouldn't be taken away until tomorrow. I looked at Julie again and remembered what she told me there on the ocean. I want to become a singer in America. I want to be a star. She wasn't bragging. She had a really beautiful voice. She had also said, I know if I do my best, then my dream will come true. I will never forget the look she had on her face when she said it. Her eyes had been filled with hope and anticipation for the future. I was very jealous of how lively and full of joy Julie was. The guard turned a little in the chair and his gun had dropped from his waist, sliding towards my feet. Was it a hint from the Lord? I reached out for the gun, but I jerked my hand back like I had been shocked when I touched it. No, I couldn't. What if I end up like Julie? I held the cross tight in front of my chest and started praying. Oh, Heavenly Father, Jesus, you said, ask and you shall receive. We trust that you know what our true needs are. We recognize you recognize our true feelings are. You recognize what our true feelings are. You understand what our situation we are in. Now, we shall ask for what our heart truly desires. Oh God, give heed to my prayer. Show us your mercy. Amen. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes passed. 30 minutes passed. The guard began snoring. The gun was right next to my hand. Maybe this really had been a hint from the Lord. I finally picked up the gun in hesitation. It felt so heavy in my hand. Mom, Dad, please bless me. Carlos, bless me. Heavenly Father, please bless me. I pushed the door open. There was no one in the hallway outside. It was so quiet. The only thing I could hear was my own heart beating wildly in my chest. The building had only one floor. After taking one turn, I could see the main gate. There were several guards at the gate too. All of them had guns. There was a black man and 2 Asians. All of the rest of them had pale skin. How could I get out? With just one handgun? I checked the gun in my hand once again. There were no bullets in the gun. There were no bullets? I collapsed on the floor. I was not feeling afraid anymore. I just felt utter desperation. Soon, the guards noticed me and dragged me back to my room. This time, they cuffed up my feet so that I wouldn't be able to escape again. Julie's body was lying there. Flies began hovering around her face. Oh, goodness gracious. But they didn't seem to have any attention to clean up the scene. Would I end up like Julie? Was this my final destiny? Heavenly Father, please answer me. Alicia. Goodness gracious. Start. There were no bullets in the gun. Okay, so this obviously has to go on this side. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? Oof, hold on. I was thinking about putting this on this side, but like, wait a second. If she shoots the gun, they gonna hear that. So I was like, she should probably have nothing on that side. So I think that on this side, a bullet flies out with him seeing it. He hears the clang from somewhere, and there are no bullets in the gun. Maybe that'll be like after like that one bullet. There's no bullets left. Also, did my phone die? Hold on, I think my phone just died. I have to go turn on the chat on my iPad. My phone just died. Okay. So let's see. I think that's right. The nails fastening the rate register had been shattered by the bullet, and it bounced off a few meters in a corner. After a tumble and a half, I fell and smashed into the white carpet along with the vent register. 5 meters away, Dungy was holding his gun with a shocked expression on his face, and smoke was still coming out of the dark, shaking barrel. Near my shoulder, my shirt had turned from its original red to another kind of red, and that color patch kept getting larger. You let yourself get hurt again, idiot. A voice that I couldn't be more familiar with appeared in my head once again, while also sounding like it was coming from outside of this world. Oh crap. I come back to this room. Okay, this seems like it's just playing the same thing as I did last time. Maybe I didn't change the story up too much. I come back from this room again. I had come back to this room again. The room was extremely dark. There was no furniture inside except for a light bulb hanging in the center of the ceiling. A slightly shorter person walked out of the dark corner reluctantly. His hair was all messed up, and his eyes didn't seem to look alive. As soon as he pushed me away from underneath the light, a mysterious force dragged me into a corner. I was swallowed by the darkness. However, when I was in danger, the sky would come out against my wheel. Actually, no, I think it still might be good. I think it still might be good because he won't have any bullets in his gun to shoot that other guy with and have his eyes get blown out. But in a moment like this, well, shit, what a shitty die. Whoever stood under the light would have no control of the body. From this moment on, I was no longer in command of my own body. I managed to dodge all the flying bullets coming towards me with extreme agility and inhuman postures. When I got on my feet, I somehow had a gun in my hand. Click. The trigger kept clicking, but no bullets were fired. I forgot to put the magazine back yesterday after doing some maintenance. I had noticed that I was still in the vent, but this idiot, although hand-to-hand combat would only mean one thing. My opponent was going to suffer even more. I began to sympathize with the poor bastard. As I had lost control of my body, I had become so exhausted, the view before my eyes was starting to get shaky and blurry. In my skipping vision, I glanced at Min Jun, waiting for a chance for his best shot from the roof of the building across the street. He could see everything inside the room with his scope on the sniper rifle. I punched a junkie on the nose. His nose was broken into an asymmetrical shape, and blood was coming out of both his nostrils. However, Junkie seemed to be more lucid after the punch. He looked outside the window, following the direction of my eyes. He had noticed Min Jun too. A clear view in front of the window, a perfect spot for a sniper. However, I didn't know anything about today's plan. Junkie saw an opening and suddenly grabbed my body. Then he quickly turned around and forced my back towards the window. How am I supposed to fix this? The bullet shattered the window glass. In an instant, it pierced through my chest as well. The strong force flipped me over and destroyed my lungs. I couldn't breathe anymore. I stood helpless in the corner of the dark room. My sight was fading. Eventually, I lost all connection to the world. Okay, I mean, I kind of think like, well, since he's out of the picture, does that mean that our boy Chang, the red-haired police officer, will get a chance to not be picked on by him no more? But I'm just trying to get good in this for everybody, so hopefully he don't die. Hopefully he just goes to the hospital and he's okay. I'm like, how am I supposed to fix that? There was nothing in my variables to fix him getting like shot by the sniper. Now that I had made up my mind, I had to follow through. The Lord will bless me. I raised the gun and tried to shoot one of the Asian men. The trigger felt so heavy, and the recoil almost knocked the gun out of my hand. Unfortunately, I didn't hit anyone. Instead, I only succeeded in exposing myself. I had to keep shooting, but I used up all 6 bullets quickly. I still didn't hit anyone. The firepower was way stronger. They aimed their shots at my feet. I had to keep crawling back. How could I possibly win a shootout? Okay, well, it was both bad. You know what? Maybe I should. I think this probably. Maybe I should put this on this side. And I'm gonna hope that this is a distraction for the gods. Like some other ruckus is happening with the gods, and that can give her a chance to sneak past them, so she won't have to confront them with a shootout. That's what I'm gonna hope. I hope that this won't be directed at her. And then I don't know where to put this though. Oh, I feel like if I put this here, this is gonna be her shooting the gun. Ooh, this could also be her shooting the gun too. Let's just see. It's just without her seeing it, right? So it's like she probably would see a gun, see a bullet. I don't. Let's just see if she's the one who shot it. But, I don't know. I don't really like. I'm not confident in this one. Where were the bullets? Wait. I had taken out the magazine yesterday while doing maintenance. Must have forgotten to bring it bring it along earlier. Shit. Must have been too tired recently. My memory is getting really bad. maybe in a couple of years, I would have Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, also referred to as simply as Alzheimer's, is a chronic neurodegenerative disease that usually starts slowly and worsens over time. Typical symptoms include dementia, problems with language, memory loss, etc. It most often begins in people over the age of 65 years of age, hence the slang Alzheimer's disease. Its full name was Alzheimer's disease. Is a chronic Huh? I was like, wait, it just repeated what we said earlier. Okay. A page being driven through the radio. There was a change of plan. We need to fall back. I heard a loud boom coming through the air duct behind me as I climbed out of the vent. Only later did I realize that room with the target had an inexplicable explosion. The investigation afterwards indicated that everyone in that room had been burnt to ashes. There were no survivors. I never imagined that forgetting the magazine would turn out to save my life. I suppose today wasn't such a shitty day after all. Girl! Maybe I should switch the order of the bullet coming out. Maybe the bullet should come out after the clang. Girl, I didn't mean to kill you. Okay. A bullet that came out from the door hit me in my stomach. I slowly collapsed to the ground with my back against the wall. I could feel the warmth slowly leaving my body. The last thing I saw was some people arguing at the door. They were all strangers. Tears rolled down my face. It was true what they said. People you want to see the most in your last moments will be your own family. Huh? How was he bad? Wait, how was he bad? I thought I did good with him. He was saved, but I guess the fact that everyone died was bad. Gosh. Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Okay, so that's the clang. Instead of a bullet, it's a ladder. Oops, this might be bad too. I accidentally knocked down a ladder that had been put against the wall. The guard in the room woke up. He stumbled into the hallway, still quite sleepy. I suddenly had an idea. Hands up. Don't make a sound or I'll shoot. I pointed the gun at his head. He held up his hands high and began sweating. Walk to the gate slowly. Do not speak to them. Do not lower your hands. Do not turn around. I pressed the gun against the back of his head, and he walked slowly towards the gate. Okay, this might not be bad after all. Hold on. My palms were completely wet with sweat. Only I knew I was more nervous than he. When we was only a few hundred meters away from the port, I smashed his head with a gun as hard as I could and knocked him out. And then I ran away as fast as possible. I didn't dare to look back. There were still plenty of people on the street. Many stores were still open, even in the middle of the night. People were shooting me strange looks when I ran past them. They all seemed to be Asians, but I didn't dare to stop and talk to them. Julie had been right about one thing. Dreams do come true when you did your best. I don't know how long I had to run, but I couldn't take even one more step. I collapsed into a bunch of paper boxes stacked on the corner of the alley. Okay, that was better. That was better for her. But I'm not so sure about Wang. The bullet hit the vent register. Then happened to deflect and hit my shoulder. What a wonderful day for me. Blood was streaming out down my arm and dripping into the vent. Then it dropped on the carpet of the room below. Huh, okay. This music isn't bad though, so I feel like this music might be a good sign. Oh wait, what's this? The target steps were getting closer. Then he stopped. I didn't need to look. The bastard must be standing right beneath the vent. Soon he would lift his head, look up and notice me. There's the sound of the window glass shattering. It was the sound of flesh being destroyed. Mission complete. Everything went as planned. Well, almost. I stood next to the junkie's body, which was missing half of his head. Oh shit. He was supposed to just lose a leg or something. This was a little different from what the old man had demanded. Minjun had rushed over from the building across the street. He dropped to his knees with a thud as soon as he saw me. I'm sorry, Lieutenant. It was my mistake. I missed. It looked like he had forgotten the last time when he did not follow the plan exactly and had to write a 200,000 word report. Sigh. If I wasn't apologizing good enough, what would we need the coppers for then? I checked the junkie's pocket. There was only 50,000 won and half a pack of Marlboros. I stuffed the money into Minjun's pocket and lit a cigarette for myself. Excuse me? Are these... What? This is so unethical. This is so unethical. Is the police allowed to just take money from deceased criminals? Like, what? They're just allowed to take money and, like, cigarettes from corpses and just use it for themselves? That doesn't seem ethical to me as a police officer. Oh gosh. I do not. This is a terrible mindset for a police officer to have too. Well, Choi Do-sung, which was the name of the junkie, was just a trash in society and deserved to die. It's not the mindset the police should have about people. You know, there was this, I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. There's a police terminology called... Hold on if I can find it. Yeah, it's called No Humans Involved. It's US police slang. No humans involved is a formal classification assigned to a crime given low priority because its victim is regarded as having a low social status. And I'm like, that is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. I learned that about how a lot of people from marginalized backgrounds, whether it's economic, racial, gender, you know, occupational, things like that, don't have their crimes taken seriously by the police because of that. And like, no humans involved, like that's an actual slang term that they use to refer to such cases. Ugh. After witnessing such a bloody ending, maybe his loser bodies will learn to behave a little too. Yeah, maybe it wasn't so bad after all. I touched Minjun's head. Don't worry about it. We're done. Rank S? I hate that. I hate how his ended though. But anyway. You have solved Kang Baekya's problem. But don't forget about Chang Young-min's letter from earlier. Alright. I almost slipped my mind. Okay. So let's finally go back to fix these two people. Oh. There's one more thing that could help with your work. That's history. History? That sounds like something I could use to review all of my endings that I have unlocked, right? Smart girl, right? It didn't seem like it would be S. Like, what the heck? What? Oh, I guess that's the best we could do with what we was given. Smart girl. Every ending you have come across is archived there. When you run into something that's too complicated, try to refer back to history for inspiration. Okay. Oh, one more thing. I have another small tip regarding the history archives. In here, we can browse all the possible endings in a letter. They are displayed on the right. Furthermore, they are arranged in the same order as the small squares you see when you open the letter. They are arranged in this order: S, A, B, C, D, E, D, F, X. The ending with the one small I is the one you are currently viewing. I see. I think this could help with my deductions too, when the number of endings increases. Exactly. As for how you want to use it, that's all up to you. Can I click this? Oh, wait, go back. Oops. I meant to do this one. Okay. I was like, this is weird. Okay. This was A. Okay, let's see the A ones. The A ones is when I chose file check arrive, phone rang. This one's the A when I chose file check arrived and walked over there. File check arrived seems to be a common denominator that. Okay, this one's bad though. I think file check arrived should be the first one to be. Okay. Back. Oops. Okay, so A was walked over there, phone rang, phone fell to the ground. I'm going to say a fire truck arrived. Let's do phone rang. And let's do fell to the ground, walked over there. Let's try this again. I feel like now that Alicia's free, he might bump into Alicia now instead of someone else. Okay. Who the hell will be calling me at this godforsaken moment? I turned around and answered the phone quietly. It was Lieutenant Kang. Okay, interesting. Lieutenant briefly asked me about the situation and told me to hand the phone over to the husband. Oh, so he was part of the gang too. Interesting. It was the Bong Bang gang? What? Is it true? Oh my. That's wonderful. Thank you. Wow. He hung up the phone, dropped the knife, and hugged his wife, sobbing uncontrollably. So it's all okay now. We can have our lives back. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's all my fault. What just happened? I took my phone back from the man and confused. A strong gust of wind blew past us, and the man lost his balance. I quickly reacted, took a big step forward and grabbed him, trying to pull him back. I was pulled over instead. We fell off the ledge together. The world was spinning. It was 10 floors off the ground. No one would survive if we hit the ground. I took my arm around as hard as I could towards the roof ledge. Something threw off my coat. It was a white ribbon I had wrapped around my forearm, with a small spearhead tied to its end. The spearhead wrapped around the metal bar on the ledge a few times and tightened around the ribbon. It was my secret weapon. I called it my tail. Oh, okay. Your tail. For a moment, I let out a sigh of relief, thinking we were safe, but the bar couldn't hold our weight and began to bend. I tightened my left fist and grabbed the man's shirt harder. I burned the last drop of energy inside of me with all of the adrenaline I had. Forced every single muscle of cell to release all of their power. Justice was not something I only talked about. I threw him up towards the roof. We were quickly moving away from each other in opposite directions. The middle bar quickly gave out. I was torn away from its concrete on the ledge. I began falling with it. I could hear the wind gushing in my ears. This is my justice. Okay, he got an S, period. But how come he got a D, though? Hold on. What was A? Hold on, go back. Oh, I should probably walk over there, then fall to the ground. Oops. That was my mistake. I switched the order by accident. Okay, here we go. Now, like, huh? How did he get a D? Okay. This should work. Someone quickly ran past me and bumped into my arm. My phone was knocked out of my hand. It stopped at another man's feet. The fire trucks hadn't arrived yet. However, this man in a black trench coat seemed to have summoned a lot of people to help put out the fire. He picked up my phone with his left hand and saw my sister's picture. Oh, that's true now, because she's been seen now. She's been around town because she escaped. So now bumping into someone and having someone see the picture could actually get some help. Okay. Then he asked me in English what my relationship with her was with her. There was no expression on his face the entire time. After hearing my explanation, he tossed the phone back to me. Then he said, "Come back here tomorrow." "Do you know my sister?" I walked up to him in excitement, but the huge man in a black suit stopped me. The man in the trench coat looked at me like he wasn't going to answer any of my questions, and turned his attention back to the men in the fire. The suit guy seemed like he was twice my size. He looked down upon me. I could see a deep scar on his face. "Fine, I will come back tomorrow." Still, I never thought I would find a clue about Alicia like this. The Lord must be blessing us. Sister, we will meet again. I just knew it. Yay, we finally did it. I was like, no matter what I do, I get a bad... Something's not right no matter what I do. So it was supposed to be like that. I was supposed to be stuck. Try out the hint feature. And then learn about the game mechanic where sometimes unrelated letters influence how these letters play out. Okay, I see. Okay, so yeah, this is a really good introduction to the game. Let's see, Alicia. At 18, kidnapped and taken into a human trafficking ship, escaped in Hong Kong. There she is. Mexico's missing persons clearinghouse. And this guy. Favorite food, Ronald McDonald's spicy burger. People he likes, Chung Gyun Min, and the other personality. Relationship, Chung Gyun Min. Rookie subordinate. Relationship 2, Min Jun subordinate. Excellent with rifles. Okay. Instead of being suspended, at age 23, managed to solve a hostage situation caused by a domestic conflict. Isn't that wonderful? Good for you, Chung. I think I've read this already. No, I haven't. Education, Bele Ene, at 18, left Mexico to find his older sister in Hong Kong. Is he 18 too? Are they twins? Oh, you can see their full photo. Oh, okay. You can see how they look completely by clicking on them. Let's see you. You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of an anime character. I just don't know who it is right now. It'll probably come to me sometime. Okay. Well, let's see how long we've been streaming for. Let me see. It's been 3 hours. So yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. We got a nice, good introduction to the game mechanics, and I feel like I don't need to go on normal right now. Lunatic seems to be going fine so far, and when I thought I was stuck, it was just because the game hadn't told me all the information yet. And once I got all the information, I was able to figure it out. So I think I'll be staying on Lunatic and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this game plays out. There's a plot to this. So it's like, I wonder how all these people connect with each other. I'm pretty sure they're all important in some way. And let me see, how many more people we have to meet? This one guy. There might be more people too that we just haven't met yet. But yeah, on Wednesday. Oh, can I save? Hold on, how do I save? Is it automatically saved? Hold on, how do you save? Oh my gosh, wait. How do you save this game? Okay, I'll look it up after this, but hold on. How do you save this game? Save. How do you save? Instructions, controls, like I'm confused. Yeah, sometimes sometimes visual novels don't have the most obvious controls. Do I, what if right click? No, right click does that. Yeah, okay, well that's not right. Hold on, how do I save this game? Goodness gracious. Okay, I'll figure it out after stream. I'll just tell you what I was about to say. So on Wednesday, we'll be back to play Nameless, the one thing you must recall. We finished Kagiha's route for Psychedelica last stream, so we're coming back to play with Young-ho on... You still try numbers? That might work? That's not... Oh, wait. Why am I so silly? Wait. It's a gear right here. I wonder why there's a gear right here. That couldn't be the settings, right? Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. We got that under control. I know how to use electronics. I know how to use technology. Don't worry. But yeah, what I was saying, on Wednesday, we playing finishing Yunho's route on Wednesday. I can't wait to go back to play with Yunho and see that cute boy again. Well, not to me though. On the screen, I can see, so everything's clear. So I don't really have an excuse. Yeah, did I say everything I need to say? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday we play Nameless. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah, so hopefully you'll be back for that on Wednesday. And then Friday I will be playing probably My Sin's Kingdom. And on Sunday again, we'll be finishing with, not finishing, we'll continue to play the Casebook of Adne, which was fun. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. That's what's coming up. So yeah, thank y'all very kindly for coming. Much obliged. And, you going to the, cinema? That's nice. What movie you seeing? That's fun. I mean, the cinema is something you can only do for like, you know, it's not every day you can go to the cinema. So, you know, have fun, enjoy it. But I haven't been to one in a long time. Well, it's not been that long. The last movie I saw was the Barbie movie when it came out. Sometime it came out. Seishun Butayaro. Let me look that up. Seishun Butayaro. Oh. Interesting. There's a movie? Okay. It's based off of, there's a manga and an anime for it too. Have you watched the anime for it? Or read the manga? Psychological supernatural. I think I might have heard of this before. I think I might have heard of this. I think I might have heard of this. Okay. Well, if you do decide to see that, I hope you have fun with that. Yeah, and then you can always, if you want to, you could always watch the VOD afterwards. So yeah. So thank you, and whoever else is in here, thank you for coming. Much obliged, and hopefully I'll see y'all very soon. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day. You hope you cry. It's always a good thing to cry in movies. It's always a good, oops, wrong one. It's always a nice feeling to cry at a good movie. But yeah, good night.